I turned $50 worth of 3D printing into $420 at one event. This is High B 3D. Stick around. I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it. Buzz, buzz. So I just did my second sales event selling 3D prints. It was the same event as last time. You can watch that video here or here. My sign fell down. So let me just... I'll fix that. Like I just said before that whole debacle, I just finished my second sales event selling 3D prints, and it went really well. To recap, for those that are just joining, I did my first sales event last month at this same event. It's a monthly thing. It's called the Corpus Christi First Friday Art Walk, where the first Friday of every month, vendors go out just to show off their art. Bars usually get live entertainment stuff. They shut down the whole downtown. It's a really fun thing, and we're fortunate to live in a place that's warm year-round, so I can do these events year-round. I did this event last month, and it was my very first time going out and selling 3D prints, and I was so nervous and so anxious, and my huge mistake was that I forgot to count my inventory and get an accurate number of the items that I had for sale. And so I ended up walking away from that first event with $460, about $460 in revenue. I don't remember the exact number, but because I didn't have an accurate inventory count, I have no idea how much of it was actually profit. I guessed that it was in the 300 to 350 range, but there was really no way of knowing that. But this event went really well. What's amazing is that my first event had that revenue of $460, and this event had a revenue of $470, which is pretty funny. That it's the exact same event, same amount of traffic, and I made almost the exact same amount of revenue. But revenue, whatever, blah, 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 what's important here is the profits. I actually got a count of my inventory accurate beforehand. I counted everything twice and put it into my spreadsheet, made sure it was saved. I thought I lost my spreadsheet at some point, but thank goodness I didn't, because it was like 10 minutes before the actual event started, but I managed to find the file stored away somewhere in like recovery mode. So the 4-hour event passed. It was really fun. Got to meet some cool people. Even had some friendly competition out there. You can look him up on Instagram. It's Piccoli3D. I'll put it somewhere here. And then I came home and the real fun began. The meat and potatoes of this video. Meat, potatoes. So I counted up all of my money and learned that I made a revenue of $470. And then I started mathing some math and spreading some sheets. Using spreadsheets. And after I recounted my inventory post-event and plugged it into my spreadsheet, it came out with a revenue of $374. But you go, hold on. I have $470 in cash here that I just made, but my spreadsheet's telling me I have $374. What's up with that? That's because I don't have a great way to account for the sales of my minis. So basically, we take the difference of those, and my minis alone made me $96 in revenue. That's huge. That's nearly a quarter of it. Like, that's awesome. This bin of minis was almost completely full, and now it's like getting pretty sparse in there. So my minis alone made $96 in revenue, which is amazing. I don't have a super accurate way to count them though, and this is where I need your help. I sell them in packs of 1 for $1, 3 for $2, or 5 for $3. And I don't really know how to accurately calculate that because I sell them in these little baggies, and I just put them all in this bin so people can dig around in it. Maybe I'll like separate them out into like individual little containers so that I can count them up before, but it still wouldn't really capture my pricing system. I don't know. Chew on that a little bit and let me know what you think. How can I calculate that accurately? Or is subtracting my inventory revenue from my total revenue good enough? I don't know. But let's talk about profits. We talked about revenue a lot. Let's talk about profit. My spreadsheet here, handy dandy spreadsheet, spit out a COGS, which means cost of goods sold, of $49.39, meaning the cost of the plastic and electricity, which my spreadsheet calculates, for these items that I sold was $49.39. Now, obviously, I spent more on plastic and printing than that, but I still have all that inventory for the future, so it's not a loss. And those things will sell in the future. Almost at least one of everything sold, which was really cool. I talked about in my last video free models that you're allowed to sell. This gator, I printed a bunch of these, and I only have one left. Well, now I have a bunch because I printed more, but I only had one of these guys left from the event, and I sold them for $5 a piece. People loved them. So total revenue of $470 minus the cost of goods sold of, we'll round it up to $50, minus my event fee, which was $60, that gives me a accurate profit of $360, which I was pretty close before my last event. I bet it was pretty close to this when I was like, I'm going to guess that it was like $350 in profit. It's $360 in profit, which is really cool. Next time, I want to have a lot more inventory. I've only had one table set up, and I want to set up 2 tables next time. I just bought a brand new printer. I've got an A1 Mini alongside my A1, and so I'll be able to put out a lot more prints. I'm very excited. It was really cool. Lessons that I learned from this time is not everything is going to sell at every event. So at my first event, I sold these Mystic Mesh 3D pencil cups that are, there's one that's like a coffee mug with legs, and then another one that's like a Chinese food takeout box with legs. And I sold out of those completely at my first event, so I printed like twice as many for this one, but I only sold, I think, one of each. So it's good to diversify and not put all of your eggs in one basket, because one thing that sells at one event isn't going to sell at the next event. The things that sold more at this event that didn't sell last time were little dragons and little like figurines. I always think that flexies are going to sell better, but people love these little figurines as well. Like this, like my mushroom, I have smaller ones of these. This is actually my own design. If you're interested in the files for it, join the Discord. That's right, there's an official Discord now, link in description, and I'll upload the files for this so you can sell it as well in your shop. These sold really well. People love mushrooms right now. It's super trendy. But at the previous event, the actual like little figurines that weren't flexi didn't sell super well. So the number one lesson learned from this is that it is important to diversify what you're selling at these events to capture a broad audience. There was one really fun thing that was that I'd even go as far as to say was heartwarming, where people who came to buy minis last month were really excited to come again this month to see what new ones that I had. And so I had a lot of return customers, and it was really cool to see. So moving forward, I have some really exciting stuff coming up. I'm starting to design my own flower pots because those are really trendy right now. Like here's some early prototypes of it, just little flower pots. And so I'm going to make videos on that. I'm going to make videos on other topics surrounding 3D printing and my thoughts on them. And I'm going to continue to provide tips for those who want to start their own 3D printing side hustle or business. If you like this type of content, please consider leaving me a like or subscribe to see how things go in the future. My long-term plan is to eventually make this my full-time job. Obviously, I'm not there yet, but I want to get there, and I'm going to share every step of the way with you so that you can do it as well. This has been High B 3D. My name is Hiram. Thank you for joining us today. I'll leave you with a time lapse of us setting up the sales event as an outro. Buzz, buzz.